Hey, audio everyone, Moss Leader here. We're back again to do another update video on basically the whole transitioning thing and whatnot. So, again, nothing to really report in terms of like things happening and whatnot, I guess. I'm on my third patch right now, because I'm doing the patches and whatnot. And I just got done with my second one, essentially. Eventually, uh, how to say, um, I'll be getting more and whatnot, but I had to actually there's a bit of a flip up or whatever it is to call it. Basically, I have to go to another endocrinologist, and if you all don't know what an endocrinologist is, everybody, it's basically a person that deals with hormones and knows all those little bits and pieces, and they're your main source of people to get on certain like estrogen or how to say, what is it the one, testosterone. I don't know why I couldn't remember that one quite so well. Yes, they're the ones that you want to go to when it comes to the whole, like, I want to transition, so I want to go to this doctor specifically, because that doctor is the one that's like, okay, so this is like all your, like, blood levels and your weight and your how tall you are and all this and that, and like they calculate it so they know what they could give you and see how well things work out for you. Now, when it comes to that kind of thing, it's not really so much of a big problem. It's just more so like I had an endocrinologist, and they were finally fine with it. I got on the patches and whatnot, and then it turns out they're like, oh, we switched insurances, and just like, what? Like, it's like pretty much as soon as I got done with all that mess, I had to go find another endocrinologist and basically do the same old thing with them. I'm already on the thing, so it's not really a matter of like convincing them. It's a matter of like, hey, I need to get this. Please make sure this happens and monitor everything that's going on and make sure nothing's wrong with my state and everything like that. So really, it just comes down to, I'm just kind of scared that I may not be able to get in time, and it may ruin some transitioning stuff when it comes to the whole entire, I don't have an endocrinologist as of right now because the way my insurance is and all this and that. But it's not in a big panic mode right now. It's not. It's getting there, though. It is getting there. And it's just like one of those things where just like, oh my God, there's so many things I gotta do, and bureaucracy, I gotta go, hold it, and it's just like, oh my God. I actually went to go visit my primary care doctor, and they were like, you don't have to ask for a referral from us. Like, you don't have to make an appointment. I was like, okay, that's cool, but I didn't know that. They told me. Like, my insurance told me that I had to go over there and talk to them, essentially, but I guess I could just call and talk to them and be like, hey, can I get a referral for an endocrinologist? And it just is one of those things. It's just like, really? But aside from that, everything else is going good and everything else is well in terms of everything. I still need to actually get an appointment for my therapist again, because when you're transitioning, you should be seeing a therapist and whatnot, just in case of anything in particular going wrong and whatnot. But for the most part, it's just a matter of, like, it's kind of one of those things. What else can I say about it? So it's just a matter of, I just been kind of lazy, and like I'm gonna like call them as soon as I can, probably tomorrow or like right after this call or something like that, because it's a matter of just, I have so many things to do that it gets to the point where it's just like, I keep forgetting, and then like I have to do something else in particular, and then I do something else. It keeps going on and on like this. It's like a sort of cat and mouse game where I have to settle down, calm myself down, and be like, okay, Lost, just do it. Just do it. So it's one of those things that just, I just need to calm down, need to set up a nice plan and actually get things rolling on the ball here. But, it's not a big thing. Not right now, because right now we're still we're still like in the very beginning of it all. So it's one of those things where it's not too, how to say, urgent, but it can get urgent pretty fast, and it can get urgent any given time. And I do want to follow the procedure as properly as possible and make sure everything goes as according to how it should go. I definitely don't want it to be any kind of like I made myself struggle because of this or that later on down the road. I definitely don't want that kind of complication. But aside from that, I think that's all I really have going on for me when it comes to that mess. And it's a bit panicky, but at the same time, I feel like I could get through with this. That being said, I do want to tell y'all, in particular, how I found out I was transgender. Because some people find out, some people already know. It's one of those things that is not quite sure of a formula to go on. But I would like to tell you, because mine is a bit unorthodox in a lot of ways. And the biggest problem I feel with it, in all honesty, is it's hard to explain that I just didn't think of gender in general. I don't really think of that kind of stuff. I know it sounds kind of weird, but it's true. Throughout all of high school, I did not even know what the term gay was. I did not actually know what that was. I was unaware that, there's two sexes, attracted to each other and all this and that. That was something that I learned in high school, and that just goes to show you how much I actually didn't really think about it. Because it's not that I haven't been sexual, in terms of I get turned on by things and whatnot and all this and that. That's been happening since the preteen years and all that jazz. But when it comes to actually thinking about it and doing that kind of stuff, I didn't really think about that at all until high school years. And it was one of those things where it's just kind of I just didn't think about it, because I said to myself during high school that I just didn't want to get into any kind of relationship or anything, because high school romances, they don't last long. And frankly, to me, that seems really sort of just a waste of time. And I didn't want to waste my time in high school for that. And I kind of on the flip side, near the end, I was I really should have done that. I probably should have tried to get into a relationship or something like that. But and it's not for the lack of trying either, because I did have a nice flub or two, really bad flubs. That's enough of my dating life for now. We can get to that later. Trust me. Oh dear Lord, this might just turn into a whiny blog now, won't it? But suffice to say, in high school, I got introduced to a bunch of different things that I never knew about and whatnot. One of those in particular was anime. Anime, being fairly recently popular, actually coming out as a popular thing in comparison to how it used to be, where it's just Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon and all these other things. And it's just one of those things that it recently became popular, and people were getting tons and tons of more anime because of the internet and everything like that. And there was one particular anime show that I actually watched called Kashimashi Girl Meets Girl. And I'm not sure if any of you know that particular anime, as of right now, but it was one of those weird animes that just kind of didn't it wasn't exactly appealing concept to a lot of people, except for probably me and a few other people that are like that. Basically, Kashimashi, Girl Meets Girl. I forget what Kashimashi means. I think it's, what was it called? I think it's some sort of old lady saying, a bunch of girls talking, and they have really high pitched voices and whatnot. At least I recall that being the case. I don't really remember. But suffice to say, this particular anime, the way that it sets itself up at first and foremost is sort of this guy that we don't really get to see. We don't get to see the guy form of him. We don't. Gets teleported or gets destroyed by this alien spaceship, and then he essentially dies. But the aliens are able to actually recreate him and have his genes and all this and that. But because the way chromosomes work and whatnot, X being the main basis of any human being, they were only to make a female version of him. So it turns into this sort of weird kind of transgender but not transgender sort of thing. And probably the weirdest thing about all of this is that his best friends do not consider him any different at all. They're dude, you're kind of like this beforehand, so it just kind of feels more appropriate now. And it's just one of those things that's whoa, that's actually really, really cool to me. Wow, that's, he turned into a girl. That's, the best thing ever. And, when I told other people about this, they're okay, yeah, sure, what else? Is that it? Or I was like, what? That's not like good enough for you? Like, I was just so utterly impressed by it and just like amazed by this idea. And I find it so weird, so incredibly weird that I actually got this whole entire like, you know what? Maybe there's exactly something right with the way I'm thinking about this. Yeah, because like a lot of people that I'm hanging out with, they're not thinking the same thing I am. They're not thinking like, hey, it'd be cool to like turn into a girl and stuff like that. And it's kind of like, huh, maybe there's something a little bit off about my line of thinking. And I started researching more and seeing all these things. And I was just kind of like, yeah, pretty much. And I was just really surprised that this anime, out of everything else, is the thing that kind of triggered this whole entire event. This whole entire like, that's how I feel. And I know to a lot of people out there, it's going to be like, really, anime is what got you to be transgender. Like, see, this is what's wrong with the world and whatnot. But it's just, sometimes you could find meaning in the weirdest things that just get you to think to yourself, like, why do I think this way? Why am I this kind of person? And I never really thought about that. And it's kind of sad, but I'm just kind of that kind of person that I don't like to think about myself a lot. I really do not. I know that's weird to say, and got a little sweat there. I'm getting passionate, I guess. I don't know. Or it's just really hot. Oh my god, it's hot. Hold on a second. This is why I had the air conditioner on the first time through, and there was like a little sound. Because I got so hot, I just sweat. Honestly, it's really what it comes down to. But I know it's odd place, and I know it's a bit odd to get that kind of line of thinking and thought into your head when it comes to like your actual identity. But there's a lot of things out there that kind of just open your eyes to like new possibilities and whatnot. And I know it sounds dumb, but I guess in a lot of ways, when it comes to actually thinking of myself, I'm kind of dumb that way. In that regard, it's not so much that like I don't do things that I don't like to do. It's not that I don't like to be who I am. It's just so much of just I'm kind of on my own off beaten path that I tend to forget to even look at who I actually am at times. And I get really confused, and sometimes I don't even remember things that I say beforehand. Like, I'll watch LPs that I've done in the past, and I'm like, I don't remember saying any of this. I really don't. And it's just weird to me. And I don't know what else to say, because it's just, I agree that saying that an anime is what helped you process the fact that you're transgendered is probably one of the stupidest things that you'll hear from somebody. But that's what happened. What else can I tell you? That's how it was kind of like a aha moment. And it kind of hurts, but at the same time, it's just kind of interesting that it happened that way. And by the way, Kashimashi Girl Meets Girl, I particularly like it because the OVA at the end has her getting along, the main girl getting along with her best friend. And I really like that a bunch. And there's a lot of like little interesting like dots and things to it as well. It's not just the simple premise of just like, oh, you know, he's a girl now, he has to get used to this, and everyone's just kind of like, oh, you're the same. And it's like, oh, dude, that's cool and everything, but it also has like some other things like relationship status and like, how does this change how I feel about this person? And the girl still loved her for who they are. It's really hard because it's just like, the weird thing is the main character doesn't identify as really male or female. They're just kind of like, I'm me. And it kind of makes things more confusing because he just kind of accepts it's like, oh, I'm a girl now. Okay, I guess that works. I know it's weird. Oh my god. I wish I could probably explain it like in the most like sophisticated detail where like, oh, like you see like the theoretical physics of this and that and that and the other. And it just, you see like all little details, but it's just kind of like a fun little entertainment thing for the most part. And admittedly enough, I did watch it initially for the Yuri. Yeah. What else can I say? Oh my goodness. But that's all I really got to report. That's all I really got to say. I mean, what more is there to it? But for now, everything's all quiet on the Western Front. Ain't no changes so far, but I imagine they're coming soon. Slowly, but surely. Thank you all for watching, and thank you all for your support. And hopefully I'll see y'all next time. Or, something like that. I don't know. And like always, I would be happy to answer any questions that y'all have. Mainly because I don't know.